question?
Well, I probably
know you.
No, yeah, no, we're gonna definitely don't sidebar it.
Sidebars are cool.
For those
It means
of
I
us,
get to drink my coffee.
Go ahead. For those of us that have walked down the aisle and committed, that is a positive thing that you would want to, maybe one of the later paragraphs, mention that you have experience in that and certainly would presumably be willing and able to consider doing that again.
Very much so.
So I think that's something, because there are a lot of rookies out there, right?
Yes.
And I think that's an attractive thing to sort of weed into the profile, right?
Yes, couple things with that.
There's those that are divorced.
I can't believe I get to say this sentence. It's like such the oxymoron. I'm lucky that I'm widowed. I'm lucky that I'm widowed at a young age. It was excruciating.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, sort of like, what it means is like every religious, both as a single and as a coach, because like every religious group, if they had any qualms about like, oh, but you've been married before, and it's, a lot of religious groups at least have a preference that you don't divorce, even if they allow it, kind of a thing. So the fact that I'm single, I have been married, gives me certain perspectives, and the fact that I also walked through unto death and went through cancer with him, because it's like being married 10 years. It is very helpful for me in terms of being able to coach people about the realities of a relationship versus like the honeymoon courtship, like first month of like dozens of roses every week sort of thing. It's like, it's not going to last, and don't expect it to, because you don't want to live that way. It helps. On the other hand, so like it's the whatever you are, you can position it favorably in your profile. So for folks who are single, never married, I know of men and women who are in their 40s and even early 50s who are single, never married.
Right.
No, I know, and that's one where, so I know you're, and I know you, so totally fine. It's the probably will never be for Fred. But what it means is that it's, and that's kind of it. Somebody who's been married, if that's you, it is something that you generally have to temper, not necessarily explain. And for goodness sake, you don't have to explain it on the phone or in email massively. You'll need to be able to give like a one sentence kind of a, I was busy taking care of my sick mother during the times. Something that's like a nice explanation without going into whatever the reason is, without going into massive detail, because it's none of their business until you've met them. The first date, the real goal of the first date with internet dating is really to see, do we have chemistry? That's really it to me. I know people like try to cover other things as well, but that is the main goal. Because, well, pause, because I have like, your thing is a great topic. I'm like, I have like 5 things I got to say on that one. So if you're single, never married, there's a reason.
Right.
And whatever that reason is, if you're it's usually if you're over 47, I'll say, and single, never married, you typically have to be able to you just need to have a whatever reason. It almost need to make up a reason. It's because all of us actually have a reason for why we are at that age. So it's figure it out, a shorthand, polite reason you can give, and it's a deeper conversation for the people where there's actual real interest, etc. If you are divorced, if you are multiple times divorced, that is one where, on one hand, you are actually, in many ways, a wonderful potential life partner. You've been married before. You know that life is about the bathroom and the dishwasher. I was like, I'm sorry, really, that is marriage. It's like, it is, and I say, it's like, people have been married before. It's like, whenever I say, it's like, isn't it always coming down to the bathroom and the dishwasher? It's like, everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's this, it's that. It's just, what I mean is that those beautiful weekends and the road trips are fantastic. And then there's Monday through Friday, the majority of the year. And it's, did he put the seat down? Did she not use his razor for her legs? Or vice versa. But that kind of, I'm joking about that because we aren't necessarily doing all that these days anymore. But it's that mutual consideration in like the most basic daily stuff is what so much of marriage is actually about. The dishwasher is just one where I'm always hearing men and women talk about this. Women, there are kitchen magnets. I'm giving you like the inside view into how women think. Freud asked, what are women thinking? Kitchen magnets about the dishwasher. We're thinking about the dishwasher. Apparently, no, but it's also, it's like, you know, I've seen this at like the Great Mall of America and like some of these like giant malls where it's like if there's more than one magnet on a topic. I'm like, people are thinking about this. I was like, well, what are we thinking? So women care about the dishwasher. We either care about it in terms of loading it. It's typically, I don't know, for me it's more about the unloading of it. It's just that, it's like, for goodness sake, I loaded it, I did everything else, couldn't you at least unload it? You know, couldn't you do half of it, you know, or something like that? You know, and it's the funniest thing, because like there's so much else in life. But the dishwasher is like, because you're eating 3 meals a day. So it's that boring
every day,
which is so much about life. So I'm joking about that, but this is actually incredibly very much the truth. So someone who's divorced gets that, and that's something where if you can put it that way in a very warm, very positive spin in your profile, people who see that someone's divorced maybe more than once, because I've had clients where they're divorced at least twice, which to me shows that they know how to be married. And there may be whatever reasons. I am so not judgmental, unless it's like every 3 years I got divorced, in which case we're having a little talk. But it's like if the marriages are lasting kind of at least like 10 years or something like that, I'm like, okay, you don't have to be married, and something happened.
Right.
Whatever, stuff happened. That's life, stuff happens. I'm like forbearing with it until I hear a bit more. It's, gosh, because some of the websites, if you are divorced more than once, kind of like, how many children do you have? How many times have you been divorced? There's like this little box you're supposed to fill out, and I'm like, really? You know, like it's a tick list, you know, as opposed to like my heartfelt life, you know, is a tick list. I don't think so. I might not immediately mention in my profile that I've been divorced more than once.
Yeah, no.
It isn't. Yeah.
Right.
And to me, that's just because there's just stuff about my personal private life, and all the details of it are just not to be covered with someone I have never met yet. And that's one of the things about like social media, Facebook, and all this. We were so used to so much of our life being out there. And a lot of folks are thinking the 20-somethings, early 30 folks, their life is so out there. The majority of them, their friends at Facebook, they actually know them. Because I do internet dating, I have like 3,000 plus friends at Facebook, and I don't know them all because I'm there both as, I have like my high school buddies are there and kindergarten friends are there, you know, and like all this business stuff. And it's very much, I like weave the whole thing. So there's a level of my own personal dating life that you will not find at Facebook or anywhere else on my blog. Every once in a while I'll talk about like a guy I'm dating. It's very funny because people like you reading my blog and you start to get fans, and I love that. At the same time, you know, some of them will ask like, so what was he, what did he do, things like that. And there's just that veil, there's that point of the boundary. I will extol his virtues. I'll say what a gentleman he was. I'll like find whatever things I can admire about him, and you will not know who he was. You will not know what he does. You will not know his name. The 30, 20-somethings, they might have a lot of their life very, very visible online, but only to people they really know. So we just need to remember to manage that personal information in our profile and in our email.